And the first thing that I recommend you do when it comes to throwing down, I'm going to use air quotes here, chemicals. And you guys got to get over that word chemical. You guys got to get over that because there are real big differences in chemicals. And I'm using air quotes. That's why I often call things products instead of chemicals, because just so you guys know, water is a chemical. It is H2O. That's a chemical. And water is a very dangerous chemical to a man that falls in the ocean and can't swim. Water becomes the most dangerous chemical to him at that time. So always think about that. Not all chemicals are bad. Just so you know, when you drink a Coca-Cola, that is an acid. That is definitely a chemical. And some of you will drink copious amounts of that all day long. So not all chemicals are created equally. Now, I will tell you, what you're concerned with, or what some of you draw a red flag to, are the sides, the pesticides, which are herbicides, fungicides, insecticides. Those are the things that can bother you or that you can be concerned with. And when it comes to that, when it comes to throwing down your first chemicals, what I recommend you do is you go to the store and you get what is called ready to use. It's a 1 gallon weed control. Obviously, you already know your grass type because you've already followed through on the first few things I recommend you do when you first get your house. Now that you know your grass type, go and look for the ready to use formulations. They're going to have a spray wand already attached to them. They require no mixing. They're usually 1 gallon, and that's a weed control that's going to control a good amount of the weeds that are in your lawn. So read on the label. Make sure your grass type is labeled for that product. Now, I can tell you in New Jersey here, where Dan lives, he's going to have cool season turf. It's a lot easier. Pretty much everything on the shelf that is labeled safe for lawns or kills the weeds and not the lawns, and a ready-to-use formulation is going to be fine for Dan's lawn in New Jersey, which is probably fescue, Kentucky bluegrass, and some sort of rye in there all mixed. Southern guys, you know, zoysia, centipede, St. Augustine, Bahia grass, and Bermuda, you guys have a little bit different restrictions. So always make sure you read the label. But the point here is get something that's already mixed up so you don't have to deal with it. And go out and start spot spraying weeds. I saw a guy in the Facebook group the other day that he actually takes little markers and he marks the weeds before he sprays them, but he keeps the marker there so he knows he sprayed that one already. That way he can kind of go through each weekend and patrol and hit new weeds, and then remove the markers when the weed dies. That also helps you see the results that you're getting. I thought that was a really good idea. Just whatever kind of little stakes you want to put in the lawn, just don't let your kids go tumbling through there too much. And it might look a little funny, but if that's what you need to do to understand how your weed controls work, and do it. But I recommend you start by spot spraying. Now, keep in mind, we are in the midst of the summer, and a lot of weed controls will have heat restrictions on them. 85 degrees is typically where they're going to tell you not to spray, but that's okay. You can always spray in the evenings. That's a great time to spray weeds when the sun has gone down. You can look at the sunset. You can go out. It's going to be, lower than 85 at that point. Even here in Florida, it's going to get below 85, later into the evening. And you can spot spray there. You have longer days anyway. Sun doesn't set till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Spot spray in the evening. So that's the first chemical type treatment I recommend you do when you first get your house or you get started in the summer, is start spot spraying weeds and mark those weeds in some way so you can map your progress. And again, it's all about getting that confidence moving forward that you know that you're getting results. And that way, when you get into the fall, you can dive in head first and go really hardcore.